How's it going, friends and family? This is Omar Richards with Compass here in Carlsbad. Happy Thanksgiving if you're joining me on this blessed day. I won't take up too much of your time. And today, in hopefully under 10 minutes, I'm going to show you guys one of the most powerful numbers here in real estate that most people do not take into account or utilize when making decisions in real estate. And I think this is a huge mistake. And that number would be the absorption rate. And by the end, you'll know exactly what it is, how to calculate it for any zip code you're interested in, and how to utilize it based off what that number is. You know, if you're on the sell side, should you wait to list your property? Should you list it aggressively to entice more buyers? Should you list it high? And on the buy side, should you make an aggressive offer or should you come in low? So knowing the absorption rate for your local market at that specific time is going to make a huge difference and just help you make better decisions as a consumer in the market. And let's get into it. So what exactly is the absorption rate? And the absorption rate answers one simple question. If no new homes came on the market as of tomorrow and sales continued at the current pace, how many months would it take for each active listing to sell? That number would be called the month supply of inventory or the absorption rate. And for this example, we are going to use Encinitas 92024. This is the most recent market update. So we're looking at October because real estate is a lagging metric. And for October of this year, we're going to see that the month supply of inventory is 3.3, up 27% from this time last year, which was 2.6. So as of October of this year, it would have taken at the rate that homes are currently selling, it would have taken 3.3 months for every active listing in Encinitas to be sold. So taking back into our example, generally speaking, 0 to 3 months supply of inventory is a seller's market, and prices are usually going up and rising in this environment. Now, obviously, this is going to be depending on the overall economy and how general sentiment is, but usually prices will be going up. 3 to 5 months supply of inventory is going to indicate more of a balanced market where negotiations between buyers and sellers are more balanced. And 5+ months is going to be more so of a buyer's market where prices are flat or falling, and buyers can have more leverage in those negotiations. Again, it's going to depend on the house and the situation that you're in. You could be competing and all this could mean nothing. So it just gives you a general idea of what's happening. And so for San Diego, since inventory is historically low in San Diego, everyone knows this, that in San Diego, inventory is just low. To the south, we have Mexico. To the west, we have the ocean. To the east, we have the mountains. And to the north, we built all the way up till Camp Pendleton. So there's just not a lot of space to build. And for that reason, inventory is just low. There's not a lot of building space. And also San Diego's America's finest city, man. People don't want to sell, and they definitely don't want to sell when they're giving up a 3.5% interest rate to get into a 6 or a 6.5 or a 7. So again, super low inventory. And because of that, the numbers for San Diego are going to be they're going to be pulled back just a little bit. So in San Diego, 0 to 2 months supply of inventory is a seller's market. 2 to 4 months supply of inventory indicates more so of a balanced market, and 4+ months supply of inventory indicates more of a buyer's market. This is what I like to do for my estimates because I think it will give me a more accurate assessment here in San Diego. Again, that's just me, but that's how I would calculate it for San Diego. So what does this mean for us? So as a seller, how do you utilize this? So if we're under 2 months supply of inventory here in San Diego, you have leverage. You can expect you have a higher chance of multiple offers above asking price, and a quicker closing with terms favoring you. If we're over 4 months supply of inventory here in San Diego, you'll want to think about pricing more aggressively, and you'll want to make your home stand out in more ways than not, usually with the price. So that's how you make your home stand out. And as a buyer, under 2 months supply of inventory here in San Diego, you're going to need to at least have some sense of urgency, move faster. You're going to want to write potentially stronger offers, maybe waive some contingencies. Again, you're going to want to speak to your agent about that and reach out to them and have the best plan put in place for that specific offer. And 4 to 5 months supply of inventory, you're going to have some leverage. You're going to be able to have more negotiating room to negotiate for repairs, closing costs, or even price reductions. So knowing that number for that specific zip code at that specific time is highly important. And I would advise anyone getting involved in the market to have their agent calculate the absorption rate at that current time for them. So I'm going to give you a quick 30-second way to calculate your own absorption rate in your area right now. So the first step we were going to want to do is we're going to find all the homes active right now in that area. So again, we're using Encinitas. So we're going to look up all the active properties here in Encinitas. Let me clear this out. So we're going to find active properties here in Encinitas, 3-bed, 2-bath, detached homes, and that would bring us 68 properties. So we see here that we have 68 properties from 1230 Neptune Ave listed at 23.9 million all the way down to 1129 Saxony Ave for 1.1. These are new build. These are just plans. So we're going to take those 68 active listings here in Encinitas, and then step 2 is we're going to find how many homes have sold in the last 6 months. So sold in the last 6 months, coming back here to MLS, sold 3-bed, 2-bath in the last 6 months. So today's November 27th, so we're going to go back May 27th. So that gives us 105 properties that have sold in the last 6 months. So we're going to take that number. We have 105 properties sold in the last 6 months, and we're going to divide that by 6. Divide that by 6, and that's going to give us 17.5 per month. So then step 3 is we're going to divide the total active listings by the average sold per month. So 68 divided by 17.5 gives us 3.8 months supply of inventory. And I would say that's pretty accurate for what's happening right now in the market. Again, that's 3.8. So we're still in a balanced market, but more so starting to lean towards more of a buyer's market. And I would say that's definitely accurate for what's happening here in the market. I can see let me pull up some recent closings and transactions that I've had. So I would say that lines up pretty accurate. This property right here I've had pending here in Rancho Santa Fe, and we are definitely in escrow under the asking price. So again, still a balanced market, but I'm seeing buyers come in and be able to negotiate coming in under the asking price. Again, here, let me pull up another one. This property here, just closed under the asking price from a buyers. They listed at 1.399. We closed at 1.385. So we are in a balanced market, but it is starting to lean towards a favor buyers just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. So if you have any questions on calculating the absorption rate in your area, you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about selling, would like me to calculate the absorption rate in your area or just give you a strategy, please feel free to reach out. If you're not familiar with my work, please go to Google and type in Omar Richards Realtor and check out my Google reviews. I have 32 5-star reviews, certified reviews with people I've worked with. So feel free to check those out. And again, if you guys have any other questions,